Hello everyone, welcome to this series on History of English Literature, and in this video we are going to discuss Old English Poetry. Introduction. Old English poetry spanning from the 5th century until 1150 offers a rich and complex body of work that reflects the cultural and historical contexts of early medieval England. This period is characterized by the blending of pagan and Christian elements, the anonymous origins of many poems, and the significant influence of Latin translations. Among surviving works, Beowulf stands out as a masterpiece of Old English literature, alongside other notable poems like The Wanderer and The Seafarer. This video delves into the origin, significance, and other notable works of Old English poetry, highlighting unique features that define this literary period. Beowulf. The theme of Beowulf is rooted in continental Germanic tradition, suggesting that it was likely the subject of oral lays long before its present written form was composed. Notably, the poem does not mention England, and Beowulf himself is depicted as the king of the Geatas. Although the poem contains many elements that can be considered pagan, the extant version was clearly written by a Christian, as evidenced by the seamless integration of Christian elements. There is no evidence of the poem's actual authorship. Modern scholars generally regard Beowulf as a Christian reworking of older material rather than a mere collection of tales strung together by one author. The dialect of the text is West Saxon, though there is clear evidence that it was originally written in an Anglican dialect, most possibly Mercian or Northumbrian. Beowulf stands as a monumental work in Old English literature, reflecting a rich oral tradition by embodying the blend of pagan and Christian elements that characterized the period. The poem's origin in continental Germanic tradition suggests that its themes and stories were part of the cultural fabric long before the poem was formally composed. This blending of traditions is crucial to understanding the work, as it encapsulates the transition from paganism to Christianity that was occurring in Anglo-Saxon England at the time. Other poetry. The pagan poems. Most Old English poetry is Christian, but some pieces are distinctly secular, often referred to as national rather than pagan. These poems offer a glimpse into the secular life of heroic culture of the Anglo-Saxons, preserving the values and traditions of a warrior society. Widsith. Considered the oldest poem in the language, it consists of nearly 150 lines, where a traveler recounts his visits to various places and illustrious people. Historically important, it is less significant poetically. Waldeer. 2 fragments, totaling 63 lines, narrate the exploits of Walter of Aquitaine. The work is vigorous and powerful, and it is regrettable that so little of it survives. The Fight at Finnsburg. A fragment of 48 lines describing the fighting at Finnsburg, also alluded to in Beowulf. The Battle of Brunanburh, a spirited piece about the famous Battle of 937. The Battle of Maldon describes the Battle of 993, emphasizing individual deeds of valor and the sentiments of warriors, particularly those of the aged Breithwald. These poems, while fragmentary, provide valuable insights into the heroic ethos of the time. They celebrate the deeds of warriors and the values of bravery, loyalty, and honor. Widsith and Waldeyer offer a historical perspective on the extensive travels and heroic exploits of legendary figures. The Fight at Finnsburg, the Battle of Brunanburh, and the Battle of Maldon are significant for their vivid depictions of battles and the emphasis on individual heroism and collective valor. The Elegies. These meditative monologues include The Wanderer, The Seafarer, Wife's Lament, and Husband's Message, all found in the Exeter book. They share a reflective quality and display real artistic merit, particularly The Wanderer and The Seafarer, which reach emotional and artistic heights closest to the lyric form. The elegies are characterized by their introspective nature, exploring themes of loss, exile, and the search for meaning in a world that often seems indifferent to human suffering. The Wanderer and The Seafarer are particularly poignant in their exploration of the human condition. These poems delve into the feelings of loneliness and isolation experienced by individuals who are cut off from their communities. They also reflect on the impermanence of life and inevitability of change, offering a philosophical perspective that resonates with modern readers. The wife's lament and husband's message provide a rare glimpse into the emotional lives of women in the Anglo-Saxon period, revealing their struggles and resilience in the face of separation and hardship. The Cadman Group, Bede's ecclesiastical history, recounts the story of Cadman, a lay brother who, inspired by divine intervention, became a poet. Although only a 9-line hymn is definitely attributed to him, 4 poems in the Jonas manuscript, Genesis, Exodus, Daniel, and Christ and Satan, are associated with his name. These poems, varying in merit, are not all by one hand and are unlikely to have been written by Cadman himself. The Cadmonian poems are significant for their religious content, transforming biblical stories into vernacular poetry and reflecting the Christianization of Anglo-Saxon England. The story of Cadman highlights the transformative power of religious inspiration and the role of monastic communities in preserving and disseminating literary works. The poems associated with Cadman reflect a deep engagement with biblical narratives, reinterpreting them in the context of Anglo-Saxon culture. This blending of religious themes with native poetic forms exemplifies the synthesis of Christian and pagan elements that characterizes much of Old English literature. The Cynewulf Group, 4 poems signed by Cynewulf in runic characters, Juliana, Eileen, Christ, and the fates of the apostles are known. These poems exhibit greater scholarly composition, expressive power, and descriptive skill compared to the Cadman poems. The Dream of the Rood, also attributed to Cynewulf, is the finest Old English religious poem, distinguished by its intensity, brilliance, and artistic execution. The signed poems likely date to the 9th century. Cynewulf's works are noted for their theological depth, intricate structure, and the personal imprint of the author, who weaves his own spiritual journey into the fabric of his poetry. The Cynewulf poems are marked by their sophisticated use of language and their intricate narrative structures. Juliana and Eileen explore the lives of saints, focusing on their faith and martyrdom. Christ and the fates of the apostles delve into theological themes, reflecting a deep understanding of Christian doctrine and a commitment to spiritual exploration. The Dream of the Rood, with its vivid imagery and profound spiritual insights, stands out as a masterpiece of religious poetry, offering a moving depiction of Christ's crucifixion from the perspective of the cross itself. Conclusion: Old English poetry, with its blend of pagan and Christian elements, anonymous origins, and the rich stylistic features, offers a profound glimpse into the early medieval mindset. From the heroic narrative of Beowulf to the reflective meditations of the elegies, these works capture the complexities of life, faith, and identity in a rapidly changing world. The contributions of poets like Cadman and Cynewulf highlight the transformative power of literature, bridging the gap between oral tradition and written word, and laying the foundation for the rich literary heritage of the English-speaking world. Through their exploration of themes such as heroism, faith, and the human condition, These poems continue to resonate with readers today, offering timeless insights into the nature of existence and the enduring power of storytelling. So this was the discussion on Old English poetry. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other topic related to the Old English literature. Until then, goodbye and thank you.